All right, welcome in. You are watching 4th and 5, presented by Ortho Arkansas. And once again, we always got to give a shout out to Ortho Arkansas, doing what they need when it comes to all your orthopedic needs. Like I said, you got a hip, you got a back, you got this strain, you got all these things going on. We get a little older. Ortho is the place to be. They just don't cater to athletes, which they're amazing at, literally everyday needs. And so if you're looking for a place to make sure you get oiled up and moving well again, Ortho, your place to be. I'm DJ Williams here with Josh Throne. Josh, what's going on, man? We are off the wake of a good old win in Tennessee.
Man, dude, the post game, reaction video being there was even better. But if you weren't actually at the game, I'm glad you got to watch that post game reaction video because it was raw emotion. That was crazy. The fans were going crazy. Even the video, DJ said, "Hey, go get fan reaction." Man, we were so excited. Everybody was so crazy. We couldn't even get the mics working because people were losing their mind.
Yeah,
it was absolute chaos. It feels good to finally be at the place that we're at, where we're beating a team like that, where we're competing against everybody. And it's funny. A guy said, "We're 6-0." Well, we're 4-2, but we could be 6-0. And I was like, "You're right." I mean, there's a world where that is. That's the reality, and it's awesome to be there, as a program.
All right, so we got a lineup for you here today. We got some things to talk about, but this is what is in store for your show. We're going to have our MD Hair Labs raising plays of the day, hair raising plays of the day, top 5 plays from that game, and we got some good ones for you. We got Grant Cook once again going to talk about the offensive line improvements and things that they also need to improve on. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to look ahead of what is next for Arkansas, what you can expect from us at 4th and 5 during the bye week, and things to kind of keep your mind on when it comes to the college football landscape and potentially where we might land in a bowl game. There's some predictions out right now. We'll share those with you later. But first, Josh, you wanted to address the video that was posted in our viewer comments. We had some people get a little spirited in the comment section.
Were you able to pull up? I wanted to pull the comment up if we can. I want to pull it up, and you guys take a look at this. But the gist of it is, someone came onto the page, and every now and then we just say, "Hey, look, if you want to support us, if you want to help us, you can donate if you want to. It's not something that you have to do." And somebody had a problem with us, asking for or suggesting that, you could donate if you want to. Well, here's the reality. And they made a comment about, doesn't DJ make enough money doing this, or doesn't he work at the Buzz? And I like the Buzz shirt, by the way. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Doesn't he do this? And, it's pretty blah, blah, blah to be asking for money. Here's the reality. I want you guys to understand. We've been doing this for 5+ years. We haven't made $1 on this. We've been doing it strictly out of the passion for wanting to do it. Yeah. If you guys knew how many hours he puts in to editing these breakdown videos, to for us to cut up our episode, so many different nights, in between our other jobs, our other careers that we're doing, we're up till 2 a.m. trying to make these videos, making sure that they get uploaded, making sure that they're edited that way. So, I didn't like somebody coming at you like that when I'm behind the scenes. I see what it takes to make this type of product. And look, you ain't got to donate. You don't have to donate, but listen, if somebody wants to, that's nice. It's nice. And it's just motivating. $5 ain't changing anything. It's just motivating when someone's able to do that. That's all that is. So there are hours. This is a whole nother full-time job. A whole nother full-time job.
And we enjoy doing it. And so, Josh, like I said, I don't even take it as if, it's not that important, is coming at me or not. I don't mind whatever it is. Appreciate the people in the comment section trying to have our back, but here it is. So, it's not that important. When I got to the donation part, it was during our viewer comments, and I said this, and then somebody else said $20 for you to read a comment, stop the cap. Here's why I did that in the first place. So we have a lot of comments, a lot of questions. I mean, too many to sort through. And I just personally would like to try to get to as most as I can. And if I miss some people, I just instinctively say, man, I feel bad because they got questions they want to ask. I can't get to them all. And so I said, if you are someone who really wants me to answer your question, when you do it through the donation, it will come through automatically. So then goes the question, well, why not $1 instead of $20? And I was thinking, like, there's a good chance a lot of people may be like, okay, $1 for him to answer my specific question and put my name on the screen to make sure I can. I was thinking, dang, that may be a lot. And I don't think I have the time to get to everyone. So I was thinking, what would be a number where I would be actually surprised if somebody donated for me to read your questions, so I don't have to go through them all. And the thing about it is, even if no one donates, I'm still going to answer and read viewer comments. And so that was a way that I thought if somebody really wanted it and they did that, that would be enough for me to be like, okay, I really need to pay attention to this one. And like I said, I don't care if you donate or not. It doesn't matter to me. And to the point of now, here is a reality check. I will say this. When he got to the comment of saying, here we go. He'll have 10 times more money than 99% of the listeners. Buzz employs him and pay him well. I don't know if you know what they pay in the radio.
God.
It ain't ESPN. I'll tell you that. There's a reason that my co-host Justin Acree, David Basil, there's a reason why we have 1,000 jobs. Let me just say that, okay? It's not what you think. And then they went on to say the news station pays well too. I don't know if you know how it works here in this industry. It's not ESPN, okay? And so, yes, I have been very blessed financially. I got the opportunity to go from college and go play ball. And to be honest, that was more so of just getting a good head start, you know, not coming out of college with debt and trying to put money in the right places that, you know, when I get older, we have some wiggle room. No doubt about it. But I think that's another misconception with these NFL guys. Everybody ain't got it. There's a very small percentage of people who got it like that. And so that's still not why I'm asking for donations. It's really just trying to filter out so I don't have to answer so many questions. But it's for you or not. We honestly would love the support. We would love the subscribers. We would love it all. But if we get them or not, it's not going to stop us from doing what we're doing. It just allows us to do it more often if that's what our viewers want. And I would love to give what we've seen now, a lineup of potential stuff. I look at it, Josh, and I say we could potentially start doing content every day. But if we do that, we have to have more resources to make it make sense.
You got to quit your job.
Yeah, you do.
Bro. You have to literally quit your job. You know, and I'm over here like, look, buddy, this is not, we're not asking for $100 a month from NIL funds. Okay. This was just a fun way for us to be able to do something with comments. And I really, really don't like when people start counting other people's wallets and income. I don't like that at all. So, you know, keep watching. I can't, you know, I've enjoyed your comments. It got me fired up, but don't do that.
And for me, like, I know some podcasts and some streams out there, they require you to have subscriptions to watch. We're never going to do that. This will always be free. All the content you can handle will be free. If there is a different level of, you know, involvement, great. But that's where we are so keen to asking just to push the subscribe button. Guess what? That's free. Because the more we can get in that, the more likely it is for us to go out and talk to sponsors and be like, hey, we got a community here. And we know the demographic, we know what they're interested in. Would you be interested in partnering with us? And that's where we're going to focus on getting something from this. So I can maybe bring somebody in to help with editing. We want a lot of guests coming in, and in today's world, you got to pay those guys. We want it to look professional. That's where all that's going. All right. So to that guy, like I said, I will say this: I appreciate you watching. And if you're offended that you feel like I'm coming at your pocketbook and sounding greedy, I mean, to each their own. If you feel that way and you no longer want to watch, don't watch. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, we're just going to keep doing this. And so our community that we've had so far, as we will continue to say, we appreciate you. And it's been fun. And Josh, you can attest, when we go to these games, it seems like people are really pumped up. With 4th and 5.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for supporting. And are we going to get into the MD Hair Labs hair raising plays of the day? Is that what you want to get into?
Yeah, let's go. Now, after we done explain that, let's get into what we have for the people. Josh, what you got lined up for us in this week's MD Hair Raising plays of the week?
Check it out. All right, guys, before we get to the top 5 plays of the week, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor, MD Hair Labs, for the hair-raising plays of the week. If you don't know who MD Hair Labs is, just take a look at this and take a look at this And take a look at this. Guys, they are absolutely amazing. They're in Northwest Arkansas. They're located off the Top Golf exit. There's 4 physicians, and they specialize in men's hair restoration. So if you're losing a little bit of hair, getting a little thin on top, you don't have to. There's answers, and we happen to have the best surgeons and hair restoration doctors right here in Arkansas. So let's get ready for the MD Hair Labs hair-raising plays of the week. Check it out. All right, coming in at number 5, we've got Taylon Green to Andrew Armstrong. Guys, this play is going to make the highlight reel every single week when they connect like this. Taylon Green, being as athletic as he is, being able to drop back in the pocket and throw a dime like this is what makes him a constant threat to any team that we play. And when you have a guy like Andrew Armstrong on the outside that can go out there and get it and make plays, this is the type of guy who's going to be making plays on Sunday. That's why they're on this week's top 5 plays of the week. You just can't coach this. The connection between these guys is next level, and I can't wait to see them to continue to do this to teams all season long. Okay, coming in at number 4, we've got Braylon Russell. Now, you got to think about this. This is fourth quarter. This drive matters the absolute most. Had to be in the highlight reel this week. Braylon is an absolute stud of a freshman, 250 pounds, got great vision, great awareness, good footwork. To be 250 pounds, it's crazy that he can run this fast and move like this. DJ, to put this in perspective, DJ was 251 pounds at his NFL combine, and this kid is a freshman. You can see here that he has great vision, great awareness. I mean, he honestly put the team on his back this last drive and put us in a position to win this ball game. And again, to do that as a freshman is impeccable. I had to put in his next run, and I'm going to keep this at 4. This is kind of a combo at our top 4 spot. 2 plays. Braylon Russell, again, just giving him the ball and letting him do what he does best. He's able to create space, find a lane, get upfield, and run somebody over just to make a statement, all within the final drive of the fourth quarter to put us in a position to win. Had to make the highlight reel. This kid is absolutely incredible. Next up at number 3, we had to put the touchdown from Malachi Singleton that seals the deal for the game. And you know what, DJ? A lot of people tried to say that they gave him this touchdown, but let's take a look at the defensive end right there. He actually doesn't know who has the ball. His eyes, body movement, everything plays that running back. Not that he put that much effort into it, but he has no clue that Malachi has the ball, and he could have actually sacked him in the backfield had he been paying attention. You can see here another corner trying to make a play on the ball. Yeah, the safety turned around at the very end, but that's because he knew he didn't want to get in the way of this play. It was already a touchdown. They had already tried to stop it and had failed to. As a backup quarterback, this is always going to make my highlight reel. I absolutely love to see it. Coming in at number 2, we've got the second to last play of the game because Danico Slaughter came up clutch, a transfer from Tennessee. That's what's crazy. You can see him here at the bottom of the screen. Very beginning of the play, he gets his hands involved in the route, disrupts the route, doesn't allow him to get inside leverage, plays him across the field, and comes up with an absolutely amazing play in a very clutch moment for the University of Arkansas to upset Tennessee. You know, there's a lot of people probably thinking, why is this coming in at number 2? That should be number 1. I'm not going to argue with you, but let me show you what I think is number 1 play of the day. It's a little bit earlier in the fourth quarter. This was a drive that we really needed to stop them. There's 3 minutes left on the clock. And I think that this play gets overlooked. Jaden Johnson back here at safety makes a play of the game, in my opinion. This is a very crucial down. We have to stop Tennessee right here. If we don't stop Tennessee, there's too much time left on the clock. This could change the entire course of the game. And for him to come up, make an instinctual play on the ball like this, shows us that he has the capability to play big-time football. Our defense as a whole showed out all night. Jaden Johnson coming up to make this play at a crucial moment, stopping him on third down, forcing a punt. You can see Coach T. Will getting excited there. And there you have it. That is our top 5 plays of the week, brought to you by MD Hair Labs.
All right, Josh, always got it nice for us having some defensive plays this time. We haven't had a lot of defensive plays on our hair raising plays, but rightfully so. This defense, unreal right now. I put them up there with the best in the country.
Dude, at the end of the game, and we said it. I mean, if you had to give the game ball to someone, I think I'm giving it to the defensive coach just for the way that he coached that game.
Second game ball of the year. He already had one against Auburn.
You got to keep giving it to him. It's making him coach better. I'm not stopping at this point. I mean, This whole season we came in just hyped up on the Petrino train, And don't get me wrong, it's nice to have, him calling the plays, but the defensive side of the ball has really stepped up, and not even the area that we thought. I said in the beginning of the season that, our DBs are always what worries me, but our defensive backs have been some of the shining spots on this defense so far. And what an incredible game against Tennessee. So yeah, if I get the choice to who give the game ball, I'm giving it to Coach T. Will.
I mean, Coach T. Will's been doing good. I know we all storm the field and people are back and forth if it's worth the $250,000. If I would have known how well this coach is, and now his name is starting to be in the conversation of head coach somewhere else, I'm like,
right.
No. Fans, let's not storm the field and give that
right.
$250K to T. Will to keep him here. All right,
That's
put
right.
it in his pocket.
That's right.
Okay, let's keep this thing rolling. Another thing that is exciting for us is Grant Cook. He's been great. I talked to him earlier this week as we went over the film, and guess what, Josh?
What?
We finally decided on a name for his segment thanks to one of our viewers. If you're interested in what it's going to be, just go ahead and take a look. All right, now that we got Grant Cook in here, very excited to have you back. Grant, we got to settle on a name. So I think we have our final three. We like Let Grant Cook, Line Cook with Grant Cook, and what was another one that popped off? Can you remember off the top of your head?
I can't.
Well, it sounds like we
it's got to be Let Grant Cook, unless we're going to put it up for a poll, so we can.
No. This is your thing. What do you like?
I want to let the people speak, man. Let's do Let Grant Cook.
Let Grant Cook. Oh, and listen to this. I haven't told you, Bob. So we're gonna have our new segment with Grant Cook called Let Grant Cook. You ready for this? Sponsored by DDK Forestry and Real Estate. Finally got a sponsor on board for Grant's segment. So excited about this. So let me tell you about DDK Forestry and Real Estate. They specialize in both forestry services and real estate, helping clients manage, sell, or invest in land. So people out there, if this is you and you have land and you want land, you need to know the value of the timber on the land. You need to know the value of all the land and as a whole. If you're trying to sell, you're trying to management. I mean, all of those things, DDK Forestry and Real Estate is the place to be. They're going to take care of you. A business since 1962. Mr. Jerry Davis started it with that core value of wanting to help forest landowners. So I already see it right now, Grant. I'm going to make a little graphic. They're probably looking at right now. So just imagine yourself in a big lumberjack, flannel, beard, axe. I mean, perfect for Grant Cook. So very excited that they wanted to hop on board and sponsor this segment. And like I said, we got plenty of other segments up for sponsorship. We can do it weekly or we can knock out the whole year. Just shoot me some details and we make sure that we show your company some love. So if you want to reach out to them, all you have to do is call the number 501-219-8600, or you can visit them at their website, forestryrealestate.com. I mean, Grant, we're making big moves here, so I'm pumped up. Sound good? A little lumberjack, Grant Cook. I mean, that's you. Is that not you?
I like it. I like it, man. Yeah, right up my alley.
Oh, man. I mean, people don't know this about you, but when that temperature drops, the real Grant Cook emerges, man. That's beard growing out.
That's my element.
That is his element. So, once again, all your needs when it comes to landowners out there, this company is for you. And I happen to know some people that work there, top first-class people. I'll tell you that. So let's go ahead and get into our offensive line breakdown. And finally, a great thing to talk about here today. Some good, some not so good. Grant, we're going to start actually with people coming at me on my breakdown that I do Mondays, which I am open to. And I know I'm not always right. Believe me. So we got some feedback from some people. And so we're going to start with one play. I believe I said, I don't know, but I feel like this is a mess up in pass protection. Well, we had a viewer comment, and the viewer said that this is supposed to be a protection where they leave that man free and Talon is supposed to be hot off of him. So when it comes to the viewer versus me, who's right and who's wrong?
So I got to go with the viewer, I think. So we'll jump straight into the clip, okay? And it's 8 minutes and 18 seconds left in the second quarter, 1st and 10, driving the ball down the field, right? 3-0, big-time drive. we're holding Tennessee. Defense is playing lights out. I know you touched on that on your Monday breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable game by the defense. So I want to make sure I know I'm here to talk about offensive line, but I want to give those guys their props. I mean,
absolutely.
I was at the game. Unbelievable performance against the top number one maybe offense in the country in Tennessee leading up to this game. So we'll jump into the clip, okay? So they've got six people in the box, right? 4 down linemen, or 1 standing up, but 4 linemen, 2 linebackers. We've got 5 guys in protection, right? Just the offensive line. It's an empty set. So here's what I think happened. Let's key in on Carmona. All right, number 55, left tackle at the top of the screen. So Carmona takes this set. You really can see kind of almost his eyes don't even go to that down lineman. It's almost like he's starting to read the defense, right? He's trying to understand where the guys are going to go before they go there. So he takes a little bit of a set. He respects the end, but automatically comes back inside of that blitzing linebacker, right? So we talk about it, right? The path that's the quickest path to the quarterback is straight ahead, right? So when that blitzing linebacker is coming, he's going to get there before that defensive end. So what does Talon have to understand? I'm hot off this guy, right? Or I've got to make him miss. And he does a really good job here, break and contain, and really making that defensive end not look very athletic. But, when you've got 5 guys in protection and they bring 6, you've got to pick your poison, right? And so I think that's what Carmona decided to do here is the quickest route to the quarterback's a straight line. Those inside gaps are what you want to protect. And so he sets a little bit and then comes back inside and ends up taking that over. Really nice job by the offensive line and great job by Talon understanding his responsibility in this, which is I've got to make this guy miss. I've got to get out of here. And then sets his feet and makes a heck of a throw. Really wish Satania could have come up with that catch. I think the lid would have blown off Razorback Stadium if that happened. But I'll give props to the viewer here.
Yeah.
I believe that he's correct.
Yeah. The viewer, make sure I'm saying this right. Logan Cannerty. I butcher names all day, all right? But big shout out to you. Appreciate the feedback. And like I said, I was going to ask Grant, and I was wrong. And both of y'all just let me know about it. So really appreciate the feedback from viewers. We take it in. All right, I got another comment from a viewer. I mentioned Blackstock on this next play. I said, we've been talking about him needing to get depth, especially in pass protection. And I said, look at this. He finally got some depth, got in front of this guy. Great pass protection. JD0257, the play you showed to Blackstock, just look at his feet. No wonder these guys get pushed around. They have no technique in pass pro. He brings his feet together to gain depth. It's just horrible. He went on to say something, but all right, Grant, was I wrong in giving Blackstock praise right here, or do we need to brush up on the technique? Where are you at on this one?
Yeah, so I don't think you're wrong. I really don't think either one of you are wrong on this one. I mean, give him his praise, right? He made the block, okay? And sometimes the blocks aren't always the prettiest, right? The technique is not always the greatest, but his guy didn't get there. So if we go into the clip, Blackstock, right tackle here, kind of right on the pig's tail. So comes out of his set, and I'll agree that maybe comes out a little bit flatter than what you would want to see him. But I don't hate his set. That second foot is what I think the viewer's talking about, right? So he almost picks up his back foot and brings it straight back down. You want to see him gain a little bit of ground with that, right?
Yeah.
But your goal as an offensive tackle is always to stay on that defensive end's inside shoulder, right? You want to be on that inside number. So you're kind of taking away the outside. You're forcing him to the outside, and then you can end up running him by. But I really don't hate this. You can see the defensive end tries to fight pressure and push him by and kind of come back up underneath. We'll get to that here a little bit later, right? There's another clip of this where it's a little more successful for the defensive end than it was on this play. But, yeah, granted, the technique is not, picture perfect. I don't know that you're going to have the picture of this play in the dictionary next to technique. But at the end of the day, you got the job done. And I don't think you can argue that kind of through and through in this game, right? We had some mishaps, and we're going to talk about them. Very rarely is anything perfect. But when you get the job done, you get the job done. And I can appreciate that with Blackstock because he struggled this year, and I think this is a pretty good rep by him.
Okay. So I guess I'll take a tie on that one. Viewers, y'all keep on sending in your comments and feedback on the videos and the breakdowns that we do so we can address them. And once again, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments. I apologize if we can't get to them all, but we will try our best. All right, let's move along. And Grant, well, another thing we've been talking about, as much as we talk about the offensive line during your segments, like they can get some help from the quarterback, right? I mean, the quarterback has a role to play in this too. What's this next clip about?
Yeah, so here we go. 10 minutes, 58 seconds left in the first. Okay, so opening drive, which was a phenomenal drive by the Razorbacks to start the game. Sometimes the best defense is keeping your offense on the field, right, and keeping the ball out of a high-powered offense's hands. And we did that in the first quarter. I think it was 9 minutes and 45-second drive, something like that.
Yeah.
Took the vast majority of the first quarter up on that first drive, which is exactly what you wanted to see. So jumping into the play, we got a little motion here. We'll start with Carmona. I like Carmona's set here. He's setting to the widest man, knows he's coming. But when we talk about Talon, right, we talk about the offensive line, DJ just alluded to it. Sometimes we got to get help from the quarterback, right? They see things we don't see. They may understand the coverage a little bit better than we understand it, can tell who's going to come and who's not. So on this one, I really would have liked to see Talon maybe check them to a full line pass pro to the left, right? A full slide protection to the left where the entire offensive line is in the pass pro. Now, you're inevitably going to leave someone free, but at least it's play side for him so his eyes can be on the defender that's coming. So you see here, number 11, really good linebacker for Tennessee, ends up firing at the snap of the ball. Blackstock, I'll give him some credit here too. He realizes his guy's not rushing. So what does he do? We've talked about it. We'll talk about it again here a little bit later with the Marion Harris. Your guy goes away, something's coming to you, right? So Blackstock does a good job of stopping and taking the block over from Braun. But what Talon's asking the offensive line to do here is nearly impossible in the amount of time we have. He's asking Blackstock to take over Braun's block, Braun to take over Addison Nichols' block, Addison to take over a Marion's block, and a Marion to free himself up to pick up the blitz and linebacker. That's why I say I wanted to see maybe a check pre-snap. Hey, full line slide left, a Marion picks up the blitzer, and everything just kind of scoots over an assignment, right?
Yeah.
And so really that guy, the defensive end that drops back, he's not coming anyway, so you just kind of predetermine what the offensive line is going to do at the quarterback position. And I think Talon does a good job of getting the ball out here, knowing that maybe he knew he was hot off that guy, maybe not. But he does a good job. Luke does a really good job. Good to see him getting involved in the offense. When he gets the ball in his hand, he makes plays, right? So, it's not just the offensive line, right? I mean, not every time, right? And so would have loved to see that here. And once again, I think as you understand the defenses a little bit more, you understand what Coach Petrino's trying to accomplish with the offense. This is something that will happen in the future where it's just a lot cleaner for Talon, and he can drive the ball down the field more accurately.
There's another aspect that we kind of talked about before in the past, Grant, is that front side of the run game. And sometimes they struggled getting collapsed. They couldn't get good push. That's why Jaquindon always would rely on the cutback. Team started adjusting for it. So we had to figure that out. And it was addressed. We bring in our backup tackle, Street, I believe it was 96. He came into the game and played the tight end position. And I want you to try to potentially put us in his head because I could tell from the stands, he went in there jacked up. I mean, dude, it's like he took a whole bottle of Inno Explode or whatever your pre-workout is and hit a couple smelling salts, and he was just coming off the ball. Let's get into his head, if you will, and start with this first play, because when I saw this first play, I was just like, do we have an All-American sitting on the sideline? I mean, he did a really good job on that first one.
Yeah, I mean, he's ready to set the tone, right? He's like, I'm not going to let this opportunity pass me by. I'm coming down. So, on this play, it looks like a play that we would call 48 back in the day, right? Mm-hmm. And so I want to talk about the front side block, but I want to talk about the pullers as well. I saw in your Monday breakdown, we talk about Addison Nichols here on the pull, where his eyes go, what's he looking at, and all those things. So we'll dive into that. But first things first, Josh Street coming off the ball like a man possessed. He takes this dude, just dumps him, right? And I don't know if he's in because we have some tight end injury issues, right? And maybe that's part of it. I know Paskey, I think his name is, was on the no play list this week, and so he's coming off the ball. No, there's no secret why 96 is in the game, right? He's coming off the ball, so he does. I mean, it crushes this defensive end. Does an incredible job setting the edge for this play.
Yep. I
do think that, unless I'm just wrong in what play I think was called, but I don't know that the center would pull on any other play. I think Blackstock's supposed to pull here. I think Blackstock's supposed to pull around this defensive end that's being down blocked and kick out the guy that Addison essentially runs right next to for the play.
Yeah.
So
I was watching that. I was just like, why is he not looking out there? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think his eyes are, and where they should be, are, hey, I'm looking for play side linebacker that's flowing with the ball over the top. That's who I'm supposed to pick up. So he's not even looking outside. He's 100% trying to trace his eyes on that linebacker and follow him through all the junk that he's pulling around and try to keep his eyes on him. But what happens is Blackstock ends up taking that guy. He squeezes through and ends up getting up to the second level. He falls down. Didn't quite get on the block. I think maybe a little bit of a bust here on Blackstock, unless that's the play design. I'm not in the huddle. I'm not in the meeting room, right, on what they're trying to get accomplished. But I think he was supposed to go kick out, and I mean, let's pretend that he does, right? I don't know if there's an end zone shot in this play. There's not an end zone shot. So if we can run it back to the beginning, you'll see. Let's pretend that Blackstock pulls here. Great down block by Josh Street. Demolishes his guy. Let's pretend we kick the corner out and Nichols comes around and gets this flowing linebacker. If we can make a safety miss, we're out the gate, man.
Yeah,
we're out the gate. And I love our backs' opportunities against a safety that's coming downhill, man. I don't know that there's one of them. Rashad's done a really good job in the past. Obviously, Jaquin Jackson. All the guys, right? All of them. They're all big backs that can make people miss.
Big running backs.
I think, big running backs that they can make people miss. So, once again, right? It's assignment and technique. We got to start making sure we're honing in on those things. Mistakes are going to happen, but hopefully we start to limit those because we're costing ourselves some opportunities.
Yeah, this is why I'm so glad Grant joins us to really dig into the offensive line, because that thought didn't even cross my mind that Blackstock may be pulling on that play. So what insight right there. Grant, let's skip ahead one play. Let's get to the end zone shot. I want you to talk about this one. And I think, obviously there's always things to brush up on. It's never pretty, but you were talking to me earlier once again about something I think our listeners and our viewers are going to start picking up on, the Grant Cook terminology. Something about if one goes away, something's coming. What is it?
Yeah. So we'll jump to the end zone shot here. We'll start on the left side. Okay, we got Carmona and Marion Harris, and so I've said it. I'm going to keep saying it. All right, I'm going to keep bringing it home with everybody. Right? If somebody goes away, somebody's coming to you. Right? I mean, that's the number one thing. Yeah, we got to get merch, man. If somebody goes away, somebody's coming to you. Somebody going through a breakup, somebody's coming to you, baby. We got it.
Let Grant cook. He's cooking it up right now. Come on. Wow. I love it.
So let's watch Carmona, right? Carmona sets, good set, a little bit of depth. Okay. His guy drops into protection, sticks with Hogs. All right, what does he do? Eyes snap back inside. Okay, he's taking this 3 technique over from Marion Harris. And Marion immediately recognizes, hey, this guy's going out, right? Not my problem anymore.
Yep.
He snaps his eyes back in and helps Addison Nichols on this defensive lineman coming across the face there. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. These guys are starting to just react, right? It's not, oh, wait, this guy's going away. Should I go back inside or somebody else coming over? They just boom, boom. It's just starting to become muscle memory for them on that left side, right? And so we go to the other side of the ball. So we talked about always staying on the inside shoulder of that defensive end, right? We're going to pick on Blackstock a little bit here. I like Braun. Braun's doing an okay job here. He's covering up color with color. But going to Blackstock, he sets a little bit flat, okay? And, okay, if you've got a wide defensive end, okay, he wants to get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, the quarterback, you know where the quarterback is, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm Blackstock here, I'm not taking the bait. I'm not jumping out there to go block you, right? Hey, you come to me. I got what you want.
Ooh, come on.
I got what you want, man. I'm not coming to you, right? So I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to wait for you. I'm going to make you declare. And so he does that, but he sets flat. And what does he do? Similar to what Josh Street did, he allows the defensive lineman, he gets too head up on him, allows that defensive lineman to decide which way he wants to go. Now that the full arsenal of pass rush moves is available to this defensive lineman. He has not taken anything out of his hands, right? I got all my weapons, man. What move do I want to put you on Sports Center with right here, right? And so he comes inside on him right there, and Blackstock does a decent job of trying to kind of drive him by, but luckily the ball's out by then, right? So I'll call it like a 50% win, right? So he's plus on assignment, probably minus on technique, and I'll give him like a plus minus on effort for staying with the block and keeping in tune enough to let Talon get this ball out, which, by the way, is a massive play to Broden down the sideline that keeps this drive rolling, keeps the play alive, and sends. I was in there in north end zone somewhere down here. I don't know where I'm at, but I mean the place explodes when that play happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just big time, man. And like I said, it was cool being able to talk about some good things, but I think Grant overall, we're getting there. And, you know, I talked about in my breakdown, Talon Green, a couple of these things, he's getting there. Receivers with spacing and timing, we're getting there. Offensive linemen, communication, better technique, we're getting there. Defense, they've been there. I mean, these guys, just talk about setting the tone. And so once we get all these things clicking at the same time, I mean, come on now. What we cooking up, right? We're going to a bowl game for sure. I mean, two more wins.
Yeah, well, I mean, bye week couldn't come at a better time, right? You got some injuries. Obviously, you talked about a little bit with Talon's injury and want him back on the field as quick as possible. Shout out to Malachi Singleton. You give the guy the ball, we're not running offense just to play keep away. We got to go score, man.
Yeah.
And the kid puts his helmet on, goes out there, runs the offense like a pro. Super happy to see that because it's a long season. We're halfway through, right? And Talon's a physical runner. But I do think too, Coach Mateos and Coach Petrino probably have gotten together a little bit on some of this pass protection. What can we do to help ourselves? How can we put ourselves in better position to protect Talon and get the ball down the field and become a little bit more multiple as an offense? And I think that's where you see Josh Street coming in at tight end, right? Let's put another offensive lineman in some of these protections to stay in and give someone that is a pass blocker an opportunity to pass block instead of making a tight end, kind of square peg, round hole in that. And so it's exciting, man. The defense played lights out all year. The offense is starting to click, right? We're starting to see some of these things. I know you poured out Jaquindon Jackson hitting his assignment on the wheel route. Talon starting to go through a progression, starts on the left side of the field, brings around, holds that linebacker, and then hits Jaquindon on a. I mean, we are deep in our end zone, right? No one thinks we're getting out of there, and hit him for a 20-yard run down or 20-yard pass and run down the field. Yeah. It's starting to feel like we're pointed the right direction and that we've got all the momentum going. And now you get another night game, LSU at home, trophy game. Always crazy things happen in Fayetteville when we play LSU. And now Mississippi State after that, who is not having the greatest season, but you got to keep your eye on them. Then you get Ole Miss at home. I mean, we're starting to see a few things lay out here where this season could turn into something that maybe no one thought was possible, right? Yeah. And so it's exciting. It's exciting times.
No, it's exciting indeed. And like I said, Grant, we appreciate you. We also want to thank the sponsor for this week's of Let Grant Cook, DDK forestry, and real estate. And I just want to remind people, I'd love for them to stay with us, but these segments are open up to weekly sponsorship, So if you have a small business out there, you just want to give a little love, it can be week to week, or you can sign up for the whole year. And trust me, it's very affordable. I'll just say that. Reach out to me in the inbox, shoot me an email. It's attached to the YouTube page, or reach out to me on Instagram, and we can keep that ball rolling and get those sponsorships up and running. Once again, want to appreciate everybody for participating in the naming of Grant segment each and every week. So it's settled. Let Grant cook. Very excited about that. Grant, I appreciate your time, and stick around. I know it's the bye week, but I even got something cooking up myself, chef. So stick around. Maybe we have something special from the chef himself next week. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, Grant. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, not only do we have the name Let Grant Cook, which is awesome, we got it sponsored,
That's
so
right.
it's really cool. Once again, shout out to DDK Forestry and Real Estate for sponsoring Grant segment this week, and it is weekly. And once again, I always want to give an opportunity if you have a small business out there. We're super cheap and affordable, trust me, compared to other media outlets. If you want to get your name out there, that's exactly what we do. We're going to build you a graphic, have some fun with it, and get your company some exposure. Just reach out to us and let us know what you want to do. But all right, all that aside, Josh, it's time to slowly start moving forward. We got a bye week, much needed. Hopefully people come back healthy. But LSU, they play Ole Miss, I think, and a game which if I am a betting man and I had to bet, I like Ole Miss in this one just with their ability to score. But no matter what, they're ranked 13th in the country. And this is going to be one of those games where extremely winnable from what we've seen on tape. And people are starting to talk like, what's next for the Razorbacks now? Because we didn't see that one coming. We went from a potential 5-win season, 6-win season to like 7, 8,
Right.
9. I know that sounds crazy, but based off what they put on tape this year, they have shown they can play with the good majority of the teams left on our schedule.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I think at this point in the season, with what we saw against Oklahoma State, what we saw against Texas A&M, and then fine-tuning all of that and coming out with a win against what was supposed to be the best of all three of those teams, now you're going to the rest of the season and go, look, we can compete with anybody on any given day if we're firing on both sides of the ball. I totally look at the rest of the season differently than what I already did. And you know how it is. Even if you're a borderline 6-win team and you get a big win like this, that can change things, and just the confidence level in the locker room, the steps onto the field every single Saturday, things start to change. Your guys start to play with a different swagger, with a different confidence. And that hesitancy that you used to have, that doesn't hold you back on the field. All of a sudden, you're just playing differently from all across the board at every position, believing in your unit, believing in yourself, because you've already taken down one of the biggest foes. So I just look at the season completely different now. There's no game that we can't win. It's just, do we come out and play the type of ball that we can? And if we do, we are in every single one of these games.
I mean, you said that perfect, Josh. Nailed it on the head. I mean, back when we were playing with Petrino, first year, second year, and then by that third year, like, we knew we were good.
Yeah.
And at the end of my junior year, we knew, okay, we could have something special. But then when we went to Athens and we played Georgia, and then we ended up beating them on their home turf, the play things. Where, Mallet threw it to Greg Childs, and the announcer said, "Childs, please."
Right.
After that game, we were like,
uh-oh.
We got something here. All right. Now we believe we can play with any team in the country. Right. And then we had a learning curve with Alabama, because, Alabama had all of this hype. They're number one. We went into that game thinking we can compete with this team. We left that game saying, not only could we compete, we should have beat that team. We just didn't really believe it or know it at the time, but we did know we could compete with them. And I think that's what, when we got at halftime, so, okay, wow, we really got here. We went from a thing like, oh, wow, look at the score, let's not blow it, where we should have been, let's add this thing up because we're better than this team, And I think when you start having wins like, the Tennessee win, in these other big time wins, it's you're right. Once you start understanding, like, why am I letting this team even make space in my mind? Like, this is going to be competition. Like, we're there now, and we've shown it. We showed it against Oklahoma State, but I just didn't think we were like in a position where we knew we were going to win that game going in. And then that's what happened, I think, in the second half. Just it became, okay, we're up now. Let's not blow it. Texas A&M, it was another one of those like, dang, look at how much we left on the field. And then Tennessee, we're like, then we win still with a lot left on the field, Josh.
Right.
Those guys are watching tape right now like, who's next? Okay, we've been tripping. Let's get out of our own way. Let's start fixing the small mistakes and beating the crap out of these teams. And so that's the direction that this could go. Now, Josh, as you know, as so do I think as Razorback fans, we've just been accustomed to big wins. Let's get super excited. Arkansas finally back on track. When we played Florida last year in the Swamp, first time we won there, I think in program history. And then next week you lose to Auburn by like 30 points, So that's kind of where people are right now. So when it comes to that, do you think this team is all the way over that hump, and LSU, there won't be a fall off, but will the momentum keep going? Because LSU's no joke either.
Yeah, no, I think that, what I said is we have the capability to be in these games, and we now know that. And since we finally won one, that belief system kind of takes over, but it's still a snowball that you got to keep building on. You can't come out and not perform that way when we play LSU, right? You've got to be able to take that on. And the good thing is we got them at home. I think we've got a 2-3 game home streak after this. So we're going to be able to continue to build on that confidence at our home field in Fayetteville. But that same level of confidence, not only with the players, but with the coaches. You start calling plays differently. You start going for it when you believe that your team is ready to go and get it on 4th and 2, on 4th and 1, on situations that you would have otherwise settled for a field goal. I think that entire spirit that kind of takes over plays over into not only the plays on the field, but the coaching as well. And it's not just a Tennessee win that's going to change things, because as you said, we've seen it before where we've come out and beat a team. But the team that we beat at Florida with Billy Napier last year, that's a lot different than this Tennessee team, right?
Yeah.
This Tennessee team was truly talented. They truly are, on their day, one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah.
And our defense handled them. Offense had tons of room to improve, finishing out drives, but we handled them. And if I'm playing and you're playing, you're going into the next game with a different mindset. That LSU coming to Fayetteville is not something that we're scared of. It's something that we're going to embrace. And I think that changes things just in and of itself when you're playing these teams. So I'm excited to see it. And in fact, one of the things I know we've talked about, I wanted to let the viewers know, moving forward, I'm pretty excited about bringing on a former Arkansas Razorback, Matt Harris. He was a defensive player, safety back in the Houston Nut, but transitioned over to the Bobby Petrino era as well, and was a big part of kind of filling that gap in between coaches and having another coach on the field. So first of all, he's a heck of a guy. He's got a great football mind, and he's going to be coming in to put together some of our defensive breakdowns so that we can start breaking down both sides of the ball. You and Grant on offense, Matt over here on defense, just giving our viewers a little bit of insight of what to expect. So I'm excited to start breaking down some of that defense so that we can see really what are we up against, not only our defense, but LSU's defense moving forward as well.
Yeah, excited about that. And so this is what we're going to do. All right, this is what we have for you this week. I'm going to put y'all in the mindset of what the team should be doing this week. Scouting report. All right. So this weekend we will be watching the LSU Ole Miss game. Come Monday morning, even though it's the bye week, I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. I know y'all are looking forward to that Monday morning breakdown. It will still be up, but this time I'm doing a breakdown on LSU. All right. I'm going to be scouting these guys. We're going to let you know who the weak link is, where the strength of the offense and defense is, what are their tendencies, like a legit scouting report. We're going to break it all down for you on tape. We're going to have that for you Monday. Tuesday, Josh is going to have Matt Harris really then focus more on the defensive side of the ball, let you know their tendencies. What are they like on third down? I mean, all the little intricate things. So you as a fan and viewer, you're watching this game, you can bring out your little notebook and coaches things and have a little tendency thing
Mm-hmm.
and probably have a good idea of what's coming. I mean, it's a really a different way to watch the game. Wednesday, we're going to have our viewer comments again, and people are going to give me a hard time about the way I do that. It's cool. We're going to keep it going. And then Thursday, Grant Cook's going to come on, and he's going to look at the big boys up front for LSU, offense, the defensive line, and the offensive line to figure out who we need to attack and who's solid, what do we need to worry about the most. I mean, we are all in prepping for this game. So I think the goal is by kickoff Saturday, 4th and 5 community, we're going to feel confident going into this game. And I think when you start watching the game that way, you enjoy it so much more. I promise you. You start seeing things, you call things out. It's just it's a cool way to watch the game. And then when things happen, you don't have to say, what happened? You'll know the answer, all right? Because you're going to see it coming. So very excited for that. So content is coming out. It's going to be all over the place. We're trying to work out this new schedule. So the best way to keep up with all of it is not only subscribe to the channel, the notification button, hit that. So that'll give you an idea is because as we add these elements, I'm going to be honest with you, it may not all come out on time where we're going to try our best, but that notification button will be the best way to make that happen. But Josh, I'm excited about the additions that we're bringing to the show this week. And we're working on maybe something special Friday. You don't have to say it yet, but you're working on that, right?
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? I want to tell the viewers, if you guys have ideas that you'd be like, hey, this would be really cool if Josh could do this, to put out another piece of content. If DJ could put this out as another piece of content, drop those in the comments. We want to know what you guys want to see, what we can bring to the table to add value throughout the week of football season. So yeah, I encourage y'all, leave those comments below because we want to know really where you're at and what you're hungry for.
All right. That'll work. Josh, I appreciate your time. Everybody, appreciate y'all tuning in. And y'all stay tuned. We got some big things coming here on 4th and 5. Y'all have a good one.